Hello, and welcome everybody to Networking Live. We have had a few changes with the show, and we're going live on Fridays now. And I'm excited that this first time we're doing it on a Friday. We are here with Charlene. She is a CPA, a financial expert and guru that I am so thankful and so blessed to know. Charlene, I'll let you tell everybody a little bit about yourself before we jump into our speed networking.
Yes. Hi, everybody. So glad to be here. I am Charlene Rhinehart. I've been in finance and financial services, personal finance, that entire world for about almost 2 decades. Almost, not there yet. So if you have any questions about personal finance or just want to talk about that or the history of it, I am here. I'm all ears and ready to talk as well.
I love it. And personal finance, it's exactly that, personal, but it's also so important because I feel like it's not something we're taught in school. It's something personally I struggled with, and it's been such a great part of my journey to be able to have conversations with people like you that help me get smarter. Right? I'm not trying to be the smartest person in the room. I'm trying to learn from people who are as great as you. So with that, I want to say thank you to everyone who is chiming in live with us. Feel free, get active in the chat. Let us know who you are and where you're from. I see Kayana is here with us today. Hello.
Hello, Kayana.
Yes, thanks for the shout out. We are going to jump in and share some questions with Charlene today. And so with that, again, it's Networking Live. We've got 3 questions, speed networking. So Charlene, first question for you. What's one thing we should know about you professionally?
Professionally, well, because I love finance, I wrote a book, Dividends Are a Queen's Best Friend. So that was a big part of my journey, being able to share why I did it and how I did it, because we don't talk about dividends while we are working, and you can accumulate extra streams of income while you're working without taking on another job. So that's one thing I want to share, because I want people to start thinking about this at work, or if you're an entrepreneur, think about how you can start building up your portfolio to protect you now, but also to make sure you have what you need midterm and for your long-term retirement plans.
I love that. Talking about retirement at an early age is so important. You know, it's exactly what you said. Nobody's talking about this stuff. Nobody's teaching it. And I'm so pumped because your book is on my Amazon list. Okay. I am getting Dividends for Queen ASAP because I think I need it. I think I can learn from it.
I'm excited to hear that. Yeah, we can all learn. And that's what I tell people. No matter what level you are at, there's always something new to learn, right? I'm always learning. I'm always studying people who are at various companies. There's always something to learn. So you'll never get bored in the world of finances.
It's a big one. All right, we've got some more folks here in the chat talking. Kay, you know what? Thank you for pointing that out to me. I knew it was Kay for short. I don't know why I've shouted out your full name. Welcome from Atlanta. We've got Fred here from Chicago, from Chi-Town.
Hey, Fred.
I love it. And Fred talking here also about great to have financial wizards share nuggets. So again, of course, thank you for being on today. All right, what's our next question? Okay, Charlene, what's your current networking goal and what are areas that you're looking to learn about?
Yes, so I study so much about finance, but I think it's so important to know where we came from when it comes to finances. And what I mean by that is I'm from the south side of Chicago. Chicago's south side has a rich history of being a Black metropolis, of being an area where we had a thriving economy because of the type of businesses we had here. We had Black banks here. I love studying banking. So networking, I want to meet people who can tell me more about the south side of Chicago, as it relates to their family, how they got here, what businesses they were involved in, just all of that, because it's something that we probably can recreate right now.
Recreate. And that's such a huge thing. I don't think a lot of people do it enough. I know I personally didn't know enough about the history of where we came from, not only financially, but exactly what you're saying, like as a people, and especially as Black people, you know, different financial institutions. Like I'm from Oklahoma. So of course we all know. I know, I didn't mean to surprise you with that. Lots of people find that surprising. Chicago for almost a decade now, but the roots came from Oklahoma. But you know, thinking about these Black financial institutions that did so much, we can rebuild this, and we will rebuild it.
We will.
We will.
Let's all come together. That's why we're networking. Yeah, bring all the people, everybody, and make it happen.
Everybody, come on in the circle with us and get networking. I love it. See, Fred is over here like woot-wooting this. This is what it is all about. Hey, Southside. Chicago Southside is such a gem.
It is.
Such a gem. And you know, I can't say Chicago Southside without plugging. I love your online presence, talking about different stories and about the Southside. It's so helpful. All righty, it's 12:06. We're right on time with our speed networking today. All right, so the next question, this is the last question, but I feel like I'm going to end up wanting to ask you something else. So just a fair warning. This question, what advice do you have for people looking to build their network?
Always be willing to share something about you, because you never know who you'll be able to connect with. Like Fred said, he's from the South Side. I want to connect with more Southsiders because I talk about Chicago Southside all the time. I have a publication called ChicagoSouthsider.com, and I post stories that are not always in mainstream media about the South Side of Chicago. So that's a connection right there. You never know where your next connection will come from. Another thing, when you're looking to network with people, become that person who you would want to network with. And I believe that's great advice for anything that you want to accomplish, right? If you are thinking about becoming a project management professional, well, start studying that, start learning the lingo, and reach out to people who are PMPs so that it can be easier for you to form that relationship.
And what you said is so vital. You know, so often we are networking within our own field and we forget about learning. We forget about expanding. And it's exactly what you said. Whatever you want to learn about, whatever you want to grow towards, whatever you want to pivot towards, you need to meet those folks. You need to know who they are, what they're doing. And there's that opportunity to learn and grow. I love, love, love it. All right. We have a few more minutes. So I'm going to go a little rogue here with some additional questions.
Let's go for it.
Tell us a little bit about your publication, because I think it intertwines so much with networking. You know, when I think about Chicago South Side, people say it so generally, but and I'm learning that it really is so massive, right? There are so many neighborhoods in Chicago South Side, so much opportunity, so much love, if you will. So tell us a little bit about your platform.
Yeah, my platform was designed to share those hidden gems. I realized a lot of people on the South Side of Chicago have no idea the rich history that existed here. I didn't even know how rich it is. And there's so much more that I am uncovering through this publication. But one of my motivations was realizing or finding out that the first Black CPA in the world is from the South Side of Chicago. Well, she wasn't born here, but she was raised on the South Side of Chicago. And this is where she became the first Black CPA. And so I started digging deeper, and I found out about various banks and other institutions that were here that helped to build the South Side of Chicago. So that's what Chicago Southsider is in a nutshell, really showcasing the rich history so that you can be inspired. Representation is so important. We have to know what people have done before us in order to see it as possible. And oftentimes, so many people refer to Chicago's South Side as being poverty-stricken, blighted, violent, dangerous, all of these words that can really discourage people and think that there's no hope for them. And so I want to instill hope, community pride into people so that you can see, hey, Chicago was once this, the South Side of Chicago was once this, and guess what? It can become that again with your involvement if you really realize the power of you and the people around you.
And that's the thing, when you say the power of you and the people around you, it really is this community feel, right? I myself, I lived in the South Side of Chicago for a bit and loved it. it was not at all how it had been described to me. It was not at all, what you hear in the mainstream media. And so I love that you are making this opportunity for growth and expansion and pride. Let's see, Fred's piping in. Interesting piece of history. It is. When you said that, I'm like, I'm learning things right here on Networking Live, and it makes me so happy because learning it's the source of everything, right? Learning, our network. And so I can only imagine how you felt when you learned that the first Black CPA was right here in Chicago.
Yes, yes.
And built that platform that now here you are.
Yes. And so I'm digging deeper. I'm studying banks, right? We have a lot of big banks here in Chicago. And now looking at the relationship between Black banks and other banks and how that helped the economy to thrive during that time. So there's one bank that was here, Binga State Bank. If anybody knows more about that bank, or Douglas Bank, these were two of the largest banks in the United States, and they were based here in Chicago in the 1920s. And so digging into this history, it makes you think beyond the box. Like, wow, what were these relationships? What's my place? What can I do now with this information? So I'm just here to share it. I really want to share so much in 2023, and that's my goal.
That's your goal in 2023 to share. Okay, and I know I had already asked you, but who do you need to connect with to learn more, to share and to learn more? How can we support you?
I want to connect with Chicago Southsiders in general, because your family members have a piece of history that can really unwrap what's going on. I want to connect with people who are CPAs who want to learn more about finances. Like, I just want a strong community of like-minded people who want to dig into the history and share the history.
I love it. Well, I already have a couple people off the top of my head that I'm like, I know I want to introduce you to. And so we'll get that going. But anyone in the audience that's listening live or that listens to the replay, please reach out to Charlene. She is doing so many great things, teaching people about financial literacy and education and empowerment. Also teaching people about the South Side of Chicago and the history and the wealth and how we can come together and prosper, not only today, but forever into the future. And so I invite you to connect with her. I invite you to connect with me. Kay, Fred, thank you for all of your wonderful comments in the chat. It's been great hearing from you. I'll do one last thing. Charlene, do you have anything, parting words that you would like the audience to take away today?
I would say continue to connect with Bossy because she's amazing. I connected with her through a tech group, and it's just been one of those relationships that I'm very grateful for building in 2023 or 2022. So continue to connect with like-minded people because you never know where the conversation will go. You think it will go one way, but it may expand into another opportunity that you never saw.
That is so true. We never knew where it was going to go, but I know that knowing you is a blessing to me. And it will have a ripple effect for years to come. And I just so appreciate you, Charlene. Like, you are incredible. I look up to you, and I'm thankful to have you within my circle and to have met you on LinkedIn, of all places.
Exactly.
Well, whichever platform, but in the tech group, it was great. It was so great. And thank you. We see you here, Kay. Thank you for being here. Hey, Daniel, another Southside Chicagoan.
Hi, Daniel.
Thank you for being here today, everyone. We are so blessed by your presence. Happy New Year. As you move into 2023, I hope that you take with you all of the joy from this call. I got a lot of joy from this call. Charlene makes me excited. But I just hope that everyone is able to, A, have a moment of rest, B, have a moment of celebrating all that you did, and C, get out there, set some big goals for 2023, and let us know how we can support you. I'm Coach Bossy. This has been Networking Live. Thank you again, Charlene, for being here. Thank you, everybody in the audience. Have a great end of the year.
Thanks for having me. Bye-bye, everybody.